Hey, what's up, guys? It's Lee from Glamp Ride and Thrive and also HERO-RVTech Mobile RV Services. And today I'm going to kind of give a review about two RV locks, specifically the V4.0 and the Trek lock. We had the V4.0 for probably about close to 3 years, and it finally gave out on us. And then we ran into some warranty issues. So stick around to the end because I'm going to cover why we didn't get ours replaced by the warranty. Also going to cover what we like about the V4, what we like about the Trek. Yeah, so stick around and let's get into it. All right, guys, you can obviously see I got both pulled up on the screen here. On the left, we have the 4.0 keyless handle for RV doors. And on the right, we have the RVLock Trek keyless handle. Obvious difference here, one of them is the design. The 4.0 has a teardrop looking design, and the Trek has more of a rectangular looking design. The 4.0 takes AA batteries, and the Trek has rechargeable lithium batteries. One of the biggest sellers of the Trek, I do believe, is the fact that it has dual lock cylinders. It locks the deadbolt, and the latch and the handle latch that you pull on. That's one of my favorite features of this lock. The 4.0, it only locks the deadbolt electronically. To lock the latch, you have to use a key right here to lock this. I'm a huge fan of not carrying things in my pockets, so I don't like that about the 4.0. I like the Trek that it locks everything electronically, so I don't have to carry a key with me. One of the other main differences is the 4.0 has 8 key code and the Trek has a 10 key code pin pad. Both designs are full metal construction and they both fit 1.5 inch thick doors. Both include 2 key fobs and they both install in about 10 minutes. Which one would I recommend and why? Well, I would go with the Trek lock, and the reason why is that dual cylinder lock. It is a game changer, I feel like. It feels more secure, it feels more safe. And one of the other big reasons that I like the Trek over the 4.0 is the fact when you leave your RV, you don't have to punch in your PIN code and hit lock. On the 4.0, you have to punch in your PIN code and hit the lock button to lock it. On the Trek, all you have to do is hit the lock button and it locks. You do not have to punch in a code to lock it. I love that feature. I walk out the door, I hit one button, and I'm on my way. That is the main differences between the 4.0 and the Trek lock. Now, let me point out the one thing that I don't like about the Trek lock versus the V4 that I like better about the V4. Now, this is something that RVLock can easily fix, and hopefully they'll take my feedback on this. But if you look at on the back side, this is what you see inside the RV. Okay, you have a big red handle, and obviously if it's pointed to the left, it's unlocked, and if it's swooped up to the right, if it's pointed to the left, it's unlocked, and if it's swooped up to the right, it's locked. On the Trek, it's kind of hard to tell whether it's locked or unlocked, especially at night in a dark RV. My wife particularly doesn't like this, so what we did is we bought a red paint pen and painted the lock symbol and painted over here so you could tell that it's locked when it's actually locked. But if you hit this lock button, the latch slides to the right. If you hit the unlock, the latch slides to the left. But it only moves a very small amount and you can barely tell if it's locked or unlocked. So that is the one thing that I like about the V4 better, is you get the ability to tell when it's locked. All right, so let's move on and show you some real stuff out here and show you how to do a 10-minute install. Super easy, guys. Okay, this is on the inside of the RV. This is my old V4 that I'm removing. You have to remove 4 screws and then you have to disconnect the ribbon wire. Next, you'll have to open the door and there'll be 2 screws on the latch plate you have to remove. Go ahead and remove those. Once removed, remove the latch plate. Grab it firmly from the outside and lift it up and out. Then grab your Trek lock and just the opposite of the V4, slide it into the hole. Grab your latch plate and your 2 screws. Install your 2 screws. Then from the inside, grab the other side, attach the ribbon cable. And then you're going to have 4 Allen screws that you're going to install to hold it together. Take your 4 Allen screws and install with the supplied Allen wrench, and you're done. Test it out. All right, guys, as promised, I told you I'd talk about the warranty issue that we had. Our RVLock, the V4 that we previously had for 3 years, was purchased by my mom and my stepdad for a gift for us. And I think the weather got to it. I pulled it apart. It looks like some water may have got in there, even though it says it's waterproof. But after 3 years of rain and everything, it got a little moisture in there and it shorted out the control board. So what I did is I reached out to RVLock and they basically said, hey, do you guys have the receipt? And I was like, no, but I have, I reached out to my mom. She doesn't have the receipt, but I do have pictures. I showed them pictures that I have this lock and it was a gift, but they still denied me a warranty claim. The other thing, that the only way you can get the lifetime warranty is if you purchase it through the RVLock.com. You can't purchase it, I don't think, on Amazon. You can't purchase it anywhere else. It actually says on their site you need to purchase it through RVLock.com to get that lifetime warranty. So I highly suggest purchasing through them if you want to buy a lock and keep that warranty. But that's what happened to us, and that's why we got the Trek, because it was an upgrade for us. So if I would have got it warranted, I would have just accepted the V4 because it's a great lock. But final thoughts, if we had to do it all over again, I would purchase the Trek, and that's because of the feature of the deadbolt, and I don't have to punch in my code every time I need to lock the door. That's just one feature, 2 features that I really like about the Trek over the V4, and the fact that you can turn the volume up low, medium, and high, and you don't have to. Your neighbors don't have to hear you lock your door every time on the V4. But the V4 does have that option where you can turn it off, but I did like having the sound, knowing that it was locked or unlocked. Hey, if you guys like this content, please like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it, and we will be getting more videos out. Until next time, y'all have a good one.